Please give a warm welcome to CJ Product Manager, Jenny GIBSON.
Terrifying. Is this on? Okay, good. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for showing up. I was closet hoping that more people would sleep, so it wouldn't be such a big crowd. So my name is Jenny GIBSON. I'm a product manager at CJ. I'm the product manager for Insights specifically. So I work with a team of great engineers that develop the reporting that you see in CJ AM, the Insights app that's coming out, and Affiliate Customer Insights. And Affiliate Customer Insights, or ACI, is really what we're here to talk about today. So ACI, hopefully you guys have heard a little bit about that so far. Just in case you haven't, it's our analytics suite that we've developed for advertisers to help them start to understand the value of an affiliate consumer. So traditionally in affiliate, we've always talked about transactions, revenue, high level, but we've never really dug into the consumers that are generating that revenue. How many new customers are we driving every month? What are those customers going on to do? That's really what we strive to analyze with ACI. So before I get too much into the actual presentation, I'm going to save some time at the end for questions. It's going to be a very data-heavy presentation. And inside your app, if you go into the session, you'll see kind of a blue button for Ask a Question. As we're going through, if you see anything that you're like, that's interesting, go ahead and ask your question through the app. And I'm going to try to save time and answer as many as we can. But those that we don't get to here, I'll respond to after the session, so everyone will get answers to their questions. Okay. So let's get started. Core to understanding ACI is measuring the individual, right? So just because we've thrown around ACI and we're starting to talk about the stats, I want to make sure that we level set on how we measure an individual. So ACI is essentially data mapping. We take all the data from CJ, all the clicks, those that convert, those that don't, take all the orders, we marry it in with all the advertiser data, so it's on and offline, and we pull that together using the Conversant individual ID. Conversant has unparalleled ability to recognize consumers online, so that lets us really assign an ID to every single interaction that we're recording. Every click, regardless of whether it converted or not, represents intent. So we want to understand the individual tied to that. And every order, we want to understand how that falls within a consumer's journey, right? Is it their first purchase, their 45th purchase? We want to be able to tie all that together, so that we're not just measuring a bunch of individual IDs out there, where our goal is really to understand the individual. So we're going to use my spirit guide in life, Miss Piggy. We have similar eating habits and fashion. So Miss Piggy, with Miss Piggy, the real goal is to understand her as the holistic pig, right? So we layer in all the clicks that she's made, because we have that individual ID, so we can see those that converted and those that didn't. And then we pull in all of her transactions, both on and offline. So we're marrying all that data together. Really where it becomes impactful is when we structure it ordinally. So what we're able to do is say, this purchase right here, hopefully through affiliate, that was her first purchase. And this offline transaction at the top, it had 2 publisher clicks within a day before she went offline and bought, and that's very interesting, right? So we're able to look at this data in a much more complex way. So we'll leave her alone. She's busy, and frankly, I'm jealous of her donut consumption this morning. I mean, anything. So analyzing the data, let's kind of dive into what we've learned, because ACI has been live in the market for a little over a year, since April. So we have 2016 and 2017 stats that we're pulling together to try to provide some network insights. So the caveat here is that right now it's live for the retail vertical. But we've tried to pick stats that are broadly applicable, so they should be interesting for everyone. However, we're trying to move into new verticals in 2017. We're focused on travel first. So try to keep that in mind as you're looking at the numbers. Okay. So the first thing we looked at is measuring how valuable affiliate consumers are. And so in terms of measuring a valuable consumer, especially the advertisers in this room, you think about your consumers all the time, right? There's a million ways to measure consumer value. But there's 3 that we're focused on right now. And that's how much they spend per order, how frequently they buy, their purchase frequency, and how much they spend over time. So how much revenue cumulatively do you get from these consumers? Getting at a lifetime value metric. And what we found was very consistent. I hope some of you saw the infographic that we released back in January. We're happy that when we reanalyzed that data, we're seeing consistent findings. So we found that affiliate consumers have on average a 23% higher AOV than consumers initiated through other channels. They make 5 more orders per customer, 5% more orders per customer, and they generate almost 30% more revenue per customer over time. And this is consistent with what we saw when we looked at the 2016 data. So we know that we're interacting with, initiating a very valuable consumer. But we don't just look at consumers by channel and say, like, okay, affiliate consumers are valuable, that's wonderful. We talk about customer segments more practically, right? We want to understand, can the affiliate channel drive particularly new customers? That tends to be where we usually start. So we set out to understand our rates of new customer acquisition. Okay, and what we found is that the affiliate channel generates, on average, about a 33% rate of new customer acquisition, which is very strong, especially when you look at it in context of all other marketing channels, which average about 29. So it's the 14% difference in rates of new customer acquisition. So it's good. We know that we're generating a lot of new customers. We're an efficient place to generate new customers. But the power of ACI is not just to say, like, okay, we know that we've touched this customer segment, and that's good. What we want to do is follow them over time. So we took a look at the value of those new customers that affiliate drives versus new customers coming from other marketing channels over time. What we found is that this 33%, it has a 27% higher AOV than new customers coming through other marketing channels. They go on to make 3% more orders per customer than new customers through other marketing channels, accumulating in a 30% higher annual customer revenue than new customers from other marketing channels. So we're doing apples to apples. We're saying when a new customer comes through another marketing channel, what do they go on to do versus an affiliate new customer? So not only is affiliate an efficient place to drive new customer acquisition, those customers go on to be more valuable over time. So ACI is really about developing strategies with this data. So there's lots of different ways. When an advertiser has ACI, their account teams put together strategies for them with the data. And one of the ways that we can look at this is trended over time. So for this presentation, we're trying to keep it pretty high level. And as a network, we can see some interesting things. So just so we're interpreting the graph correctly, the green line, that's the rate of new customer acquisition per month for the affiliate channel, CJ Green. Then the blue dotted line, that's the rate of new customer acquisition per month for other marketing channels. And the percentages, this is the percent difference between affiliate and other marketing channels, right? And so on average, it's 14%. But we see something interesting happening this month, starting in September. The rates of new customer acquisition deviate at a much higher rate September through November. They jump from 14% to 22% higher rates of new customer acquisition. So starting in September, as you're out there having your conversations with publishers, understanding that right now we're moving into a time where generally new customer acquisition can be a little challenging. But affiliate is a channel where you can make up some of that gap and still keep your acquisition rate strong, because there's opportunity in those publisher audiences. So a different way that we can look at this data is by publisher tier. And when we talk about publisher tier, we're looking at the revenue generated from publishers, and we're kind of breaking them into 3 tiers. So the top tier generates the most, mid, and long tier. And what we found was that the rate of new customer acquisition is actually highest in the long tail, then the mid tier, and then the top tier. And important to think about is, always context, right? So this red line, the top tier, for every given month on this graph, except for one, it's still higher than the rates of new customer acquisition that you're getting from other marketing channels. So everything in context. But when we think about the long tail and the mid tier, this represents significant opportunity. Because within the network, you have an opportunity to work with a ton of publishers, lots of different publishers. But we tend to focus on our optimization of a couple of those relationships. Looking at your mid and long tail as audience segments that you can tap into that will generate new customers for you might make investing with these two publisher tiers a little bit more of a strategic opportunity. The top tier, so they're the bulk of your new customer generators, right? They just drive the most volume across the board. Paying attention to what they do in December in particular, as we're moving into Q4, is important. They spike up. They really leverage their audiences in Q4, and in December in particular. So looking at this data for every individual advertiser that has ACI, it really helps us set strategy around the publisher performance that we see for that specific advertiser. So again, this is like an aggregate for the network, but understanding that your top tier spikes in June, hypothetically, helps you set strategies that make sense for your program, right? Okay, so in addition to breaking things down by tier, we looked across all the publisher promotional verticals. And what we found was that 3 in particular have very strong new customer acquisition rates. And I think this probably resonates with us. We knew that these were good channels for promoting research, brand engagement, all of this. Sub-affiliate content and social, all above average new customer acquisition rates. So when you think about investing with these particular verticals, we tend to think about, okay, we want to push the brand, we get to control the brand messaging. There's a lot of good things about working with these verticals. But layering in their ability to generate new customers is another way of thinking about partnering with these guys. Okay, so shifting gears a little bit. We've talked about new. The antithesis is existing. And we've tended to think about publisher segmentation in this really binary way. You're either new or you're existing. But the truth is, because we let every advertiser set their own definition of new for ACI, so for some advertisers it hasn't shopped in 2 years, and for some advertisers it has never shopped before, that means that there can be someone who bought 12 years ago and hasn't purchased since, right? And so they fall in this existing bucket, but they've really fallen out of engagement with the brand. So what we've started to do is break out existing into lapsed and repeat. And this is something that most advertisers are talking about internally. You don't just talk about new and existing customers. So lapsed was something that we've just started looking into with the ACI data, and what we found was really surprising and encouraging to us. So in addition to the 33% generated as new, we found that the affiliate channel generates 16% of our consumers as lapsed customers being reactivated through the affiliate channel. So 16% of the consumers coming through the affiliate channel haven't shopped with the brand in at least a year. And for context, what we saw is that is double the rate of lapsed customer reactivation than we're seeing through other marketing channels. So affiliate is a good place to tap into new customers. It's also a great place to reactivate consumers. So this 16%, again, because this is how we look at the data, right? We compare. How does this 16% perform over time once they've been reactivated? Well, compared to consumers reactivated through other marketing channels, affiliate reactivated has a 16% higher AOV. That's okay. But they go on to make 20% more orders per customer, accumulating in a 46% higher annual revenue from customers reactivated through affiliate. So we want to dig into this more. We were really excited when we saw this, but something about affiliate is kicking these consumers into high gear. They go on to purchase a lot more once they've been reminded about the brand. And we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the 51%. So looking at this 51%, these are consumers who are being engaged by the affiliate channel, but they are repeat. They shop with the brand frequently. Looking at consumers who shop through affiliate, so they engage with affiliate, but they are repeat, compared to consumers who aren't engaging with affiliate, we have a 21% higher AOV, 7% more orders per customer, and a 30% higher customer revenue. So when you think about the repeat bucket, it's not so much to say affiliate is driving repeat customers, yes, But it's really to say affiliate is a great place to talk to my repeat customers because they're still, even though they're shopping with me, they're still engaging with the affiliate channel. So after looking at this, we wanted to take a step back and see what is driving, we know that we're driving really valuable consumers, but what's unique about an affiliate consumer? Why are they so valuable? So with the help of data science, we did a lot of research into this, and what we found was that research is actually the key. Affiliate consumers, so people shopping through CJ, like CJ Network in particular, are 1.5 times more likely to do moderate online research, but nearly double as likely to do heavy online research as compared to other online shoppers, so anyone else online. And what this really represents is that between moderate and heavy, affiliate consumers are doing a lot more research online than your average digital consumer. So we thought that was pretty interesting, and we wanted to use the ACI data to dig into that a little bit. So we took all the transactions, and we looked for any that had affiliate engagement within a week, in clicks. We said, I wonder if the amount of engagement affects the value of that transaction. What we found was pretty interesting. We bucketed the amount of clicks before the transaction, and we found that the more clicks, unsurprisingly, the higher the AOV. But where this became really salient is when we compared it to people who didn't engage with affiliate at all. They have a significantly lower AOV. So the people who are engaging with affiliate are purchasing at a higher price point, but the people who are researching through affiliate, really engaging, and using affiliate as a research channel are buying even more. So Harvard Business Review released a study in January that maybe some of you saw. They found that conducting prior online research led to a 13% greater in-store spending among omni-channel shoppers. And part of the power of this ACI data is really our ability to connect publisher influence with offline transactions. We can see where people are clicking through publisher sites before they go offline to make purchases. Now, understanding that omni-channel consumers, especially for any retailers that have an in-store presence, are valuable shoppers, made us want to look at this a little bit more. Especially finding the second finding from the Harvard Business Review study. Within the context of that, we really needed to dig into omni-channel because they found that once you make a consumer omni-channel, they go on to buy 23% more, and they feel more favorably about your brand. So we wanted to see what was going on with our affiliate omni-channel consumers. What we found was that once a consumer makes an online purchase through affiliate, they're very likely to come back and engage with the publisher site before making another purchase. In particular, 21% are actually consulting with the affiliate site before making offline purchases. So this is untapped potential. This is usually unoptimized potential, meaning that happening organically without specifically pushing site-to-store offers or doing any kind of specific campaigns with your publishers to target their offline influence. ACI lets us see what's happening at an organic level and then track that over time as you start to develop strategies and campaigns around offline influence. Furthermore, what we found is that offline is pretty robust. It's not just in-store. We found publishers influencing call centers, catalogs, mobile apps, retail stores, all of these. Their ability to influence channels other than just digital is pretty robust. Okay, so I'm doing okay on time because I wanted to leave some space for questions. So what have we learned? We've learned that consumers engaging with the affiliate channel go on to be more valuable over time. We saw that once when we looked at the data for the infographic. We're seeing it confirmed now. The affiliate channel is generating valuable consumers. Moreover, though, they're generating new customers, so customer segments that we should all care about. And it's a great place to reactivate consumers, which is a conversation that we probably haven't been having enough of. Affiliate shoppers are unique because they're heavy researchers, and understanding that publisher verticals like content, sub-affiliate, they're great at generating research and new customers, that represents opportunity. And affiliate publishers influence purchases taking place on and offline, so they can drive sales beyond digital. And thinking about your relationships as more than just digital will help you get the most out of your publisher relationships. So when we named this session, it was Double Your Affiliate Budget, and we wanted something that was kind of controversial and would hopefully make you show up and listen to the ACI data. But hopefully by the end of this, it doesn't seem so controversial. Because what we've learned, and this is just the highest level, when we do ACI, we can dig into very granular specifics for each advertiser based on what you're trying to accomplish with your affiliate partners. So we hope that what you take away from this is that doubling your budget, if you had the ability to do that, would help you target valuable consumers who would quickly show return on that. So that's ACI in a nutshell. And on time. So we've got a couple minutes for questions. Do we have any?
Is this, oh yeah, we do, thank you. Jenny, the first question is, you talked a lot about new to file customers. How are you defining new customers?
Oh, okay. New customers are set specifically for each advertiser. So when you integrate for ACI, you set your specific new to file look back period. So you can say, we have some that say only a year, and we have others that, again, said like, ever shopped with my brand. So when we talk about new customer rates of acquisition, it's new customers for that advertiser as they're defining it.
And where do you get in-store data?
That's a good question. So when you integrate for ACI, you're ultimately having to provide transaction files to Conversant, and we marry into those sources. So you're providing on and offline transaction history, and that's kind of what we're querying against when we say, has this individual ever shopped before? We're looking across on and offline data files that are coming in through the integration process.
You contrast affiliate and other channels, but can you break that down a little more to talk about any interesting observations about other channels?
Yeah. So other channels, right now, we lump everything together. We say, like, this is affiliate, and this is all other marketing channels. And breaking out other marketing channels is something that we want to do in the future, because really you want to compare affiliate to a like digital channel and not just like print and everything, whole nother bucket. So some of our advertisers are providing us information about the specific transaction. So if advertisers tell us this transaction was credited to this channel, then we can give them that kind of channel-specific ACI breakdown. So affiliate new to file compared to another marketing channel, we can do that. But for our purposes with network data, we don't look at it that way because there's not a ton of consistency in what we're seeing right now, or how people are integrated right now. It's better.
Okay, next, do you suspect these sorts of statistics would be consistent across other industries and verticals?
Interesting. So we're moving into travel next. And we're pretty far down, actually, the process of our ACI for travel. I don't know that we're going to look at ACI in exactly the same way. We'll still look at new customer acquisition, but we'll be looking at things like new to line of business. The way that you look at, I think, travel, especially our OTAs, requires a kind of different spin on customer value. So I think the findings will be consistent in that the affiliate channel is valuable. I think this is something that we've all known for a really long time, that affiliate publishers were capable of driving new customers. You've seen that validated with your own internal data, but I don't know that we'll slice that data in exactly the same way. I hope that answered that question.
Regarding the trend graph for new to file rates comparing channels, can you talk a little more about any hunches as to why you see those sorts of trends during those key months?
It's why we see those trends in those key months. So I would hypothesize that, that some of the Q4 performance that we're seeing really has to do with some very interesting, or not, well, I think it's, a lot of this is like validation of things that we've suspected for a while. When you do a partnership, like looking at that top tier performance, when you do a placement with a big publisher and you do a site-wide takeover, right? You're really tapping into that audience. You're not just on a category page further down where someone might know your brand already when they're looking for it. You're tapping into everyone that publisher has to offer. So I think when we see packages for placements and things like that really tick up in Q4, we're seeing advertisers taking advantage of the full audience segment and generating more new customers at that point too.
Sorry, affiliate
I was assuming that was
publishers-
about the December thing, but it might be about something else.
Affiliate publishers vary greatly. Any insight into which types of affiliates the data is comprised from? For example, loyalty, coupon deals, etc.
Yeah, we have all of that. We just didn't put it all in this presentation. So every advertiser that gets ACI, they do see in a publisher by publisher level and also publisher categories, rates of new customer acquisition, rates of offline influence, all of that is included in the analysis. So for this purpose, because I only had 30 minutes, I tried to keep it like relevant to this research thing that we want to talk about. But we do see, if I'm remembering correctly, I think like a 30% for coupon rate of new customer acquisition and 20-something for loyalty. I can't remember. But we have all that data, and it's something that we can share with the advertisers and publishers too. Maybe in another infographic we could do that.
And what is it about the affiliate channel that drives different customer makeup compared to other marketing channels, such as a higher AOV, repeat purchases, revenue per user?
What is it about the affiliate channel? So I think what we're seeing, and we do see this validated with cross-device too, the more that people will research higher value price point purchases, right? Like if you're gonna buy a car, you're gonna research that more than something that's super cheap. So I think what we're seeing is that the affiliate channel is a really good place for people to engage and research products, and that's why we're seeing those higher AOVs reflected through the affiliate channel, because they're coming here to research and learn more about the products before they buy. And they tend to be a savvier consumer. Like researching more, ultimately at the end of the day, helps them understand what they're buying and also helps them kind of feel comfortable engaging with the affiliate channel and coming back to it again.
Great. And what are the main benefits for the advertiser? Couldn't they just look at this internally?
No. That's a great question. So that's an excellent question. So the main benefit to the advertiser is the mapping of the clicks that didn't convert. So understanding the influence of publisher clicks on offline transactions, so that's something that would have been recorded through ACI, but ultimately that person went and bought offline, right? So your ability to understand people coming to your site and converting through the site, and that tends to hold true. Yes, you could look at this data. ACI is an easier way for you to access it because your team can look at it on demand anytime you want, and ultimately it helps the account teams make smarter decisions quickly. But where it really becomes unique is when we talk about mapping clicks that didn't convert, we talk about the volume of clicks for certain transactions, and we talk about really like the publisher's impact on transactions that are happening offline. Whatever that offline point of sale is, our ability to map that is something that advertisers can't do without the Conversion individual ID.
And if a customer always pays with cash in store, how do you know that they're a new customer?
Oh, those cash buyers. Yeah, okay, so if a person was to only buy with cash and never be part of a loyalty program, and like that's a hard consumer to identify, that's true. But typically, you'll make maybe one of your purchases through cash, and if you use cash, you still use kind of like a loyalty ID, or there's very few consumers, so we're able to match 96% of, our match rates are incredibly high. So the people who are buying only with cash repeatedly are small margin. Typically what we're seeing, where the real value kind of lies, is being able to identify someone who bought online with this credit card and then bought offline with this credit card or has signed up for your points program, being able to connect those together and say that these aren't two new customers, this was one customer and this was the point that they were new. That's really where we're trying to be more intelligent.
Thank you, Jenny. I think we're out of time for questions. There's a few more here.
are, actually.
But you can get back to people individually, and
Okay.
maybe we can just remind them to take the survey.
Oh, yeah,
the way.
there's a survey. Please take the survey. We'd love to learn more about what you're curious about with the ACI data, too. So thank you.